Hello friends, a big warm welcome to our very own channel, Ammu&You. I'm Ammu, and here today I have come to narrate a fairy tale to all of you. A fairy tale is an imaginary tale, a fictional tale, but it is the wildest stretch of imagination where you have fairies, magical creatures like goblins, witches, fairies. They just show us that how much you can imagine and weave a story around those creatures. They are not true. They teach us a lot, many things, and there is a big takeaway from this fairy tale as well, which I will tell you after the end of the story. The name of the story, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. One snowy winter morning, a queen sat sewing by her window. As she looked out at the beautiful palace gardens, she pricked her finger with the needle. She quickly put her finger in the snow collected around the ebony window sill. The snow turned a rosy pink. Oh, how I wish I had a child as fair as the snow, with rosy lips and cheeks and hair as black as ebony, thought the queen. Time passed, and the king and queen were blessed with a lovely baby girl, as beautiful as the queen had wished. They named her Snow White. Alas, the queen died when Snow White was still a baby, and the king married again. The new queen was an evil witch. She had made herself beautiful with magic. Every day she would ask her magic mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of us all?" And every day the mirror would reply, "You are the most beautiful, my lovely queen." Until one day, many years later, when Snow White had grown up into a lovely young girl, the mirror said to the queen, "Oh, queen, though a beauty you are, Snow White is more beautiful than you." The queen turned red with anger. "Snow White must die," she told her huntsman. "Take her to the wild woods and bring me back her news of death." And so the huntsman took Snow White to the deep woods and the forest. At first he planned to kill her, but then he thought it would be a very cruel thing to do. So he let Snow White go away, warning her never to come back to the castle or the wicked queen would kill her. Poor Snow White turned pale with fear in the dark woods. The night creatures made terrible sounds, scaring her a great deal. "I wish someone would help me," wailed Snow White, running helter-skelter. Just then, she spotted a little cottage. Inside the cottage were 7 little beds, 7 little chairs at the table, and a meal laid down for exactly 7 people. Snow White was hungry and sleepy, and the cottage looked warm and inviting. So she promptly ate from one plate and went off to sleep in a tiny little bed. Now the cottage belonged to 7 dwarfs, and what a strange sight awaited them when they reached home. Finally, when Snow White woke up, she told them her sad story, and the kind dwarfs agreed to let her stay with them. The 7 dwarfs were carpenters and would set out bright and early for their workshop deep in the woods. Snow White would look after the cottage, cleaning, cooking, and sewing. She would sing to herself happily and was very content living with those kind dwarfs. But alas, one day the magic mirror told the evil queen that Snow White was still alive and was the most beautiful of all. So the wicked queen made a poisonous magic potion and coated some apples with it. She then disguised herself as a poor old fruit seller and left for the woods. Now she could do anything because she was actually a witch. She was not a human being, children, right? So, finding Snow White at the cottage, she said, "Try these sugary sweet apples, my child. I have traveled far. Oh, I'm so tired, and I must sell these apples. Won't you just take a bite?" The apples did look truly delicious, and Snow White wanted to help the poor old lady too. She was so kind, you see, and so she took a bite. The minute the juice of the apple touched her lips, the poison acted, and Snow White fell down as if dead. Ha ha ha! Cackled the evil queen and ran away, saying, I am now the fairest of all. That evening, the dwarfs came back with a beautiful bed they had made for Snow White to thank her for caring for them. They were very fond of their gentle friend, and when they saw her lying as if dead on the ground, they burst into tears. Who could have done this to our dear girl? They wailed. Night and day the dwarf sat by Snow White, who slept on the bed they had made for her. One fine day, a handsome prince on a horse came riding by and saw the lovely damsel asleep. He instantly fell in love with Snow White and kissed her. Lo and behold, Snow White woke up as the poisonous apple fell from her mouth. She thanked the prince for saving her and told him that the dwarfs had saved her and were so kind to her. She told the whole story about the evil queen. The prince locked away the evil queen in the dungeon, and she was never to be seen again. Soon the handsome prince and the lovely Snow White were married with much fanfare. The dwarfs too rejoiced with the entire kingdom, and they all lived happily ever after. Now, what a happy ending! And for who was it a happy ending, children? For Snow White. And why was it so? She was beautiful, but so was her evil mother, Queen. Both were beautiful. But why did the little girl, Snow White, get a happy ending and the evil queen had to be thrown into the dungeon? It was because Snow White had true beauty of a good, kind heart. She was kind to everyone she met, whereas the evil queen was not kind. She was jealous and cruel. She wanted to kill Snow White. So, the real beauty, children, is not about having a fair skin or golden hair or rosy lips. These are imaginations in a fairy tale. Real beauty is actually to be a real beautiful person with a loving, kind heart that cares for everyone. And I know that all of you are really, really beautiful. Lots of love to all of you. Remain as beautiful as you are. Thank you for listening to this story. Let me know how you liked it. And wait for me again, like you always do, when I come after selecting another beautiful story to narrate to all of you. And you adult friends, I know listening to this Snow White may be a bit of a hilarious thing for you, but who minds laughing? It makes you child again. So thank you for listening to this story, my adult friends as well. Thank you for supporting me in my storytelling journey. Please like, share, and subscribe as much as you can with all your friends. That will help our channel grow further. I am very grateful for all the support that you've given me and the encouragement that I've got from you. Thank you once again. Stay good, stay healthy, and blessed. Bye-bye.